NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Luke Russert joins us live. And Luke, a part of this conversation is that the Democrats may have given up leverage with Republicans. Now that you look at the political landscape, and Senator Landrieu needs some help here. For example, many believe that Democrats should have negotiated on minimum wage, forcing Republicans to come to the table on that in exchange for some movement on the Keystone pipeline. And now they're kind of in a situation where their hands are tied to help Landrieu, for example.
Yeah, Cameron, I think what you're mentioning is really what is a real concern of not just liberal Democrats, but also some of the Democrats, at least in the House leadership side, that they basically are giving away Keystone for nothing. And when I say nothing, a last-ditch Hail Mary attempt by Mary Landrieu to try and say she got it passed that would be beneficial for her in the Senate runoff campaign, of which she's trailing by a fairly decent amount, and the Democratic Senate committee is not going on the airwaves for her. The thought would be is that Keystone was something that the Democrats could have in their back pocket, perhaps use it on something like the minimum wage you mentioned, or maybe down the line if they wanted to do tax reform or some sort of overarching larger bill, it'd be a good thing that they could give Republicans. Essentially giving away for free in this lame duck, one could argue that they're not getting much in return for it. Of course, perhaps it doesn't move forward, the president vetoes it and then tries to use it as a bargaining chip next time around. But I will say to you, Cameron, one thing that I hear from more progressive members is they're quite upset with Harry Reid by allowing this vote to move forward simply because they view it as not having a chance it's going to succumb to President Obama's veto, but also for delaying it. It's really become such a symbolic thing for environmentalists. They don't want to see it move forward. They don't like that it would have this sort of pathway in any respect. So it's a very unique thing that's developed here for this last-ditch attempt to try and help out Mary Landrieu. It sort of pitted some groups within the Democratic coalition against each other.
And the president, we know the administration is still waiting to hear from the State Department to finish this long-running analysis of the impact that the pipeline would have on the environment. Do we know any more about the timeline, which it seems, by the way, Luke, it's taken forever for the State Department to come back with this?
Well, they've been purposely slow about it. I mean, it went through the 2012 election. It's gone through the 2014 midterms. They still have this sort of outside review period where they're trying to get as much information as possible as to what the construction of this pipeline would actually mean, the environmental impact and whatnot. But make no mistake about it, Tim. I mean, this is something where it has the support of people like Bill Clinton. It has the support of some labor unions. There are some red state Democrats who support this, who say it's going to happen anyway in some capacity. Let's just let it go forward now. But because of its symbolic nature, that's why you've seen the Obama administration hold their ground. They also want to get something more from it. As what the timeline will be from the State Department, who knows? I think the most important thing for John Kerry right now is probably that Iranian nuclear deal, as well as dealing with ISIS. So that'll be up front on his plate. But this could easily go into next year, and maybe even into 2016 if they wanted it to, Tamara.
All right, Luke, thank you very much.